welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing good today. So I've got James back on. This then means obviously it's another shoe review, and today we are talking about the Nike Tempo Next Percent. I like them.
Good.
Probably. Well, I just like the look of them anyway. So today we're going to take you through sort of a bit about the shoe. We have had them for a couple of weeks now, and we've both done a couple of different types of run in them just to kind of feel them out. So we've done an interval session, we've done some tempo runs in them separately, and we've done one or two sort of easier runs just to see how they feel. So we're going to start off with a bit of an introduction about the shoe, who it's for. Then we're going to talk more about the sort of technical side of things, if you want to know a little bit more about that. Then our sort of thoughts and opinions, and then just kind of like rounding it up. So here we go, the shoe. First things first, how much it retails for. So this retails for, I think on the Nike website, £169.95. I think that's correct. So about £170. We got these with your discount. Was that your birthday discount?
Yeah.
So how much is it? Is it 25%?
25% off.
Yeah, so before your birthday, if you're a Nike member, you get 25% off code, I think around the time of your birthday. So obviously, if you're wanting to buy a pair of shoes, that's a really good thing to kind of wait around for, is the time of your birthday. So yeah, we've got a discount on those. The name suggests, they are a tempo shoe, so they are meant for faster training, so perfect for any type of session. So intervals, workouts, sort of like faster tempo or steadier paced efforts. They are meant to be a training shoe or a training partner for the Alphafly, or maybe the Vaporfly, depending on what you have. So they look very similar to the Alphafly, I think. And yeah, so they're meant to be, if you are fortunate enough to have Alphaflys, this then shoe then you can do all your training in and get the benefits from them to then wear the Alphaflys for race day. Predominantly for road running, I'd suggest.
Definitely.
And also just one thing about you can get them obviously in different colours. I went for the black just because I think that in this weather it's going to be perfect for, because if you look at James's, this is the mango colourway, and despite being really nice, already you've picked up a few mud splots, which is natural with trainers obviously, but that's why
I work hard in mine as well, don't I? So
I really liked the white ones with the sort of like rainbow effects. They were like the first ones to come out, but when I saw the black ones, I really liked them just because they have got the blue detailing. So it's got the blue tick here, it's got the blue, what would you call this, like loop? Pull tab. Yeah, pull tab. And then it's got the name on it there as well. You can see it, probably can't. And then another night tick, and then also the pods. And then on James has got the mango, and then also it's like yellow here. The pods are all yellow. You've got black. So yeah, that's kind of intro to the shoe. I'll then pass over to James, who's then going to talk a bit more about the
build, the specs,
technical fit, the structure, that kind of thing.
Cool. So as Kate said, this is the training partner to the Nike's version of a racing shoe, whether you may have the Alphafly or the Vaporfly. Okay, so if we start from the outsole, we've got a lot more outsole than the racing shoes. Appear to be quite durable. As Kate said, we've only done a few runs, but there's no real markings on there. They're all pretty good. They look like they'll last the distance, I think.
Yeah.
Quite grippy, not so grippy on wet surface.
I agree.
But I tend to find with Nike shoes like the Pegasus or whatever, the rubber needs kind of roughing up a bit to get grippy. So you need to get a few miles in it. So we'll come back to that maybe and see if it grows.
Because I wear a few Pegasus, and I can't remember, I think it might have been the 37s. I felt exactly the same the first run I went on. I think you came out with me on the bike once, and it was like quite wet, and I was like, oh no, it didn't feel as grippy. But like you said, once you've done a couple of runs in them, I felt that they... Yeah, I think
it's kind of scratched the surface essentially.
Yeah, they were better. But yeah, I think that with Nikes in general, sometimes they're not like to the point that you feel like you're going to fall over.
Let's hope not.
But you just have to be a bit more aware maybe on wetter surfaces.
Okay, then going into the midsole, we've got the Zoom X foam under the forefoot and going towards the midfoot. Obviously the Zoom X foam is Nike's top foam. It's expensive, it's light, it's responsive, it's just a nice foam. But Nike have obviously realised that the ZoomX foam doesn't last as well, so you've got a nice big chunk of the React foam at the back here, which does add a bit of additional weight again, like the outsole. But remembering this is a training shoe, that's there as a bit more cushioning, and it's just going to last the miles. You know, if you're going to smash these shoes around, you're going to absorb that React at the bottom. When you first put them on foot, it's quite a peculiar feeling. You can feel the difference between the ZoomX and the React, and then the AirPods. It does feel like there's a lot going on under your foot, but I think you get used to that quite quickly, and you know what's going on. So yeah, obviously, and then the AirPods, which mirror the Alphafly. One thing I do like about the AirPods is I'm finding myself subconsciously having a target or an aim. So when I'm placing my foot down, I'm almost aiming to hit the AirPods, which, you know, that can only be good for your form. So it's a nice little added bonus. I don't know if Nike wanted that to happen or not. Then moving on to the upper, Nike's fly knit. Very, if you've worn Nike shoes, you'll know what the fly knit is. It's a little bit more robust than some of the others. Not like the Atom knit or the Alphafly, but it is a little rougher. Perfectly breathable. Nice sort of supportive structure around the midfoot here. Fits like a dream, really. Padding, same as the Alphafly and the Vaporfly, in the back of the heel. Some people, Katie, struggles to get it on her foot, like get through the little booty hole. Yeah,
I have though, like, this is what I've inherited, gained genetically from my parents, or my dad in particular. I have a high arch here, so where like sort of the ankle joint is. So yeah, it is, it's not easy, because there is, like, what we have to remember, there's no tongue. So it is a little more difficult. Not to the point where it's hard, but I sometimes have a bad habit of just slipping some trainers on, which isn't always a good thing. So I just have to pay a bit more attention when I'm putting the shoes on. It's not a problem, but yeah. And also, like you said, mentioned about this bit's quite high. James doesn't have a problem, because James wears sort of like longer socks anyway, but I sometimes tend to wear more ankle socks, and because of this bit here, despite it's got the padding, it's this bit that rubs. So the first time I wore them, I wore a pair of socks that probably like fell down, sorry, fell down a little bit. So I just, since then, I've worn, I don't wear the longer ones, but I wear shorter socks. So that's the only thing with the back of the shoe, I'd say.
Oh, cool. So that's kind of a quick overview. So the stats, there's a 10mm drop from heel to toe. There's 46mm at the back and 36mm at the front. 46mm does breach the IAAF legal limit for stack height. So if anyone wants to go and beat any world records or something, it'd be illegal doing it in this shoe. I can't imagine anyone's going to get pulled up racing your standard half marathon and bits and pieces when races come again. And in my size, weighs 266 grams, which it's not light, but it's not heavy. It's not the end of the world. I think we've seen quite a few reviewers sort of hating on this recently, but I think that's just a trend that people have jumped on the bandwagon. No,
that's the thing, like, I feel like there's so many, back in, you know, years ago, there wasn't as many shoe reviews, and I feel like now a few people have slated the shoe really badly, so then other people have that preconception. I think you need to kind of just wear the shoe, wear it a few times, and if you're a Nike lover, then I think you personally will love it.
Yeah, I've seen people slate this shoe and send it back after doing a couple of easy runs. This shoe is not made for easy runs.
Yeah.
So that's not fair, is it? You can't say, well, this shoe's rubbish. It didn't do the job that it's not supposed to do. One thing I would say is, fairly or unfairly, the criticism, I can kind of imagine what people get is, if you've had the Alphafly or the Vaporfly, you're used to this spongy, responsive feeling. Now this shoe is responsive, but my first impression when I put it on is, it is stiff compared to them two shoes.
Yeah,
it is no way near as spongy. It's a beautiful shoe. It's broken really nicely for me, but if you were going to put it on your foot and expect to feel that sort of soft, full ZoomX, that's not what it is. Also, just while saying that, it's not got a carbon plate through it. It's a nylon plate, so it's not going to have that same exact spring as a carbon plate. But once again, this is a training shoe, not a racing shoe.
So that leads us on quite nicely to our kind of own personal thoughts and opinions on the trainer. So, James, what are your thoughts?
Good, I like them. As I said earlier, I like the little subtle target in the forefoot. It works well for me, helps promote good form. I've noticed over the miles, obviously that's not many, I've only done a few, they've really eased into my foot. So as I said, at first I feel they were a bit stiff. I think just the foam needed breaking in a little bit, because you've got it, it's not over-engineered, but there is the pods, there is the plate, there is the Zoom X, there is the React.
It's a lot going on.
It's a lot going on, and I think that's what confuses people. But actually, get it moving, get it working together, and it's a great combination. It really works. 400s, we did the intervals in. I ran quicker than I intended to run, I think.
Both did, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, that's not down to the shoe, you know, I'm training well at the moment.
Yeah.
But I felt good. The shoe promoted everything I wanted to do. And then I did a 30-minute tempo in them as well. And the pace versus effort was good. I felt smooth. I felt, you know, the stride was turning over nicely. The ground contact in these shoes were nice. I felt stable the whole time. I felt in control. Nice, I like this shoe. I think what's also important is not to train in a Vaporfly or an Alphafly all the time. One of the things I'm starting to see at the moment a lot is like calf and Achilles injuries or strains. Same for myself, and you know, I've been chatting to a few different people, and actually we keep talking about energy return, energy return, energy return. So the whole idea
you're going to take my bit now, what I was going to say.
Yeah, but I told you this. So the whole idea of the carbon fibre plate, you come along and you're going to spring back forward, okay? So energy return. So where is this energy going that we were wasting before carbon fibre plates? It's going back up your leg and into your calf. So I think if we're continually going to train in carbon fibre plates, one, we're not going to feel the benefit, and two, we're putting a lot of stress onto our lower limbs. So actually, to have a little less stiffness in this plate, so you've still got that advantage, but you still want to train. You're training in this shoe. So that's my thoughts. I kind of went a bit off there, but no, I really like this shoe. I think all these people that are haters are literally that, they're just haters.
Haters gonna hate.
Yeah. Give them a try. They're a tempo shoe. They're meant for going fast. They're meant for being at the top of your gait. That's my thoughts and opinions.
Okay, last question. What kind of runs will you be using them in? Like
tempo runs. Tempo.
Not
tempo
intervals?
Runs.
But to be fair, James is quite lucky. James has got a selection of shoes that you can train in.
Yeah. So obviously at the moment we're doing intervals on the Redway because the track is closed. Thank you, coronavirus. I've not tried this shoe on the track, but I like a lower stack height on the track. You know, I'm not a spike or anything, but just something a bit more ground contacty and fast. But maybe I'll give these a go on the track and I'll change my mind. But yeah, definitely tempo. I'll probably like to try them on a longer run soon. Not a usual sort of slow Sunday run, but something where I'm going to maybe put a bit more effort in. Want to be a bit more stridey, if that makes sense. So, but I think that'd work well for that. But yeah, it's a tempo shoe. It's not an easy day shoe.
There we go. Okay, my thoughts. Probably not going to be too different to James. The first run we went on with these was an hour's run, and yeah, we both said that we felt they were a bit stiff. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but they just felt a bit rigid to start off with. On that day as well, it was just meant to be an easy run, but we were naturally touching my lower end of pace for an easy run, weren't we? And I wasn't trying to do that. My heart rate suggested that I was working a bit harder, but I think it was down to the shoe and the technology that was within it.
Making you want to run faster.
Making me want to run faster in them. So then we put them on for interval session. Amazing. Felt really good. We'd had, you know, sometimes running on a Redway, we found a nice bit of Redway, but we just both really enjoyed them in the intervals, and it both showed in our session times. Like, I haven't run 400s that quick in a while. Again, not saying that the shoe did it, but we had a nice piece of road to run on, and we were both just working hard together, I guess. Then I wore them on a tempo run, and I came back and I was quite upset because I didn't feel like I got the benefit of them on that day. I'd had a sports massage the day before, and I always find, I know that everyone's different, some people feel amazing after a sports massage, but for me personally it takes me a good 24 or 48 hours to recover from them, and then my legs feel amazing. So I didn't quite get the benefit from them, but I hit the pace that I needed to on the day, so they probably definitely helped. But yeah, I just didn't feel like I got the benefit of them because probably my quads were overshadowing the actual shoe. So yeah, a bit rigid to start off with, but since we've done those runs in them, they feel a lot better to run in. Like I said before, wear longer socks if you want to not get any rubbing there. Like James said before, you know, because of the width of here, you feel the stability in them, but yeah, just be mindful of wet surfaces. And yes, I have noticed that in recent weeks I have been using both this, the Vaporfly and the Alphafly, and I have a sort of bit of an ankle niggle, but it's down to a tight calf, which is then causing me a little bit of problem. I'm training still at a normal capacity, but this calf is just a lot tighter than what it normally is, and I do think it's down to these shoes that I'm wearing. As athletes, as runners, we get niggles. It's just part and parcel of training. James and I always say that. You just have to be mindful of knowing what's a niggle versus what's an injury, and what you can run on and what you can't. So overall, I love the shoe. I'm going to be wearing them for tempo runs. I'll try them with intervals as well in quite a few more weeks, because I don't have much other choice of selection of shoes. I've just been wearing my Pegasus 37s at the moment, which I quite like.
It doesn't have much choice of shoes. Alphafly, Vaporfly.
I mean, as a training shoe, because like you said, I don't like, yes, I'm very fortunate. I have all the racing shoes. I just need a few more. I'm joking. I'm joking. No, but yeah, I really like them, and I will continue to try them out. But yeah, this is only like our sort of first impressions, so maybe we'll do a couple of like weeks or a few months in them, and
I can only see them getting better and better, to be honest, as they go along, assuming the durability
and for predicted. Like for the price versus the wear, I think that if they are going to last longer than an Alphafly or a Vaporfly, you're going to get the wear out of them. I personally want to feel good in training, so I'd spend the money on them to to then get that extra edge in training, because then you're only going to get a bit more confidence. But I think as well, not to do too much in them, so that actually come race day, when you wear your racing shoes, you feel that difference and you can really fly. So yeah, overall, we both like them. We're looking forward to doing more training in them, and yeah, we're fans.
I think my sort of outro thought would be, it's an expensive shoe, it's a good shoe, but it is a good shoe at what it is for.
Yeah.
It's not a racing shoe, it's not an easy day shoe, it is a tempo day shoe, and that's what it does.
Yeah. So, just to recap sort of who they're for. They're for someone...
Anybody.
Really?
Anybody who wants to give themselves that tempo edge.
I would say they're for everyone. I would say, like, just steer clear if you have like lower leg issues, because that's only going to highlight extra stuff. Or
I would say if you've got lower leg issues, lower leg issues, get them fixed.
Yeah, obviously do some strength training, but you know, if you are vulnerable to those sort of injuries, then be mindful of them. And probably,
yeah, I suppose if you're someone who likes ground contact, who likes low stack height, then they're not for you. But
and as well, in terms of like if you overpronate or supinate, probably not either. So probably someone that wears a neutral gait. Yeah,
but yeah, I'd suggest...
James is just telling anyone to go out and try them.
No, I think we look too much into that sometimes, and I think everyone at their tempo pace should be running at a more neutral gait anyway. That's scientific, isn't it? Obviously, the slower you go, the more you're going to pronate or superpronate.
Yeah. But
when you're up on your gait and up on your high-end speed, you should be running more efficiently.
Do your strength work, then that helps to overcome that. But yeah, all in all, big thumbs up from us. A score out of 10. We've not done that before, but
you've put me on the spot now, haven't you?
Yeah,
what's
sorry.
the reference point?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, versus like say other training shoes that you've got, how do you pitch that? Because
I think the hard one at the moment would be, when you look at the price point, the Adidas Adizero Pro is £10 more expensive. and I love that shoe.
And these are sort of the pinky blue.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the scientific bit of Katie.
You've got many a shoe. It's the easiest way to define them, the colour.
But then going back to what we said earlier, we shouldn't be training in carbon plated shoes all the time. But I'd love to wear them all the time. But so, which would I buy if I could buy again? Can't ask myself a tough question there because they're 2 different shoes on there, doing 2 different jobs. But
didn't you say the Adidas the other day?
Yeah, but I don't want to train in them all the time either. So.
Oh, you just want both?
Yeah, I'll just have to go with both. So in summary, I'm not going to answer my own question.
So there we are, guys. I hope that gives you our sort of honest feedback on the Tempo Next Percent, and hopefully maybe in a few weeks or months to come we will give you a bit of an update on how we've been getting on with them. So yeah, if you want to check out any other videos, we've done a few others on shoe reviews over the last few months, and let us know if there's anything else that you'd like us to talk about. Like, comment and share and all that jazz now. Brilliant, thanks, you've done it for me. Take care, guys.